Hey everyone, my name is Nina and today's video is gonna be me painting this little guy in 30 minutes. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge for me because I normally spend hours and hours and hours on painting models because that's just how I enjoy painting. This video is actually part of a collab, and when I'm filming this, I'm not exactly sure who's gonna be participating, but I will link everybody in the description below, and I'm sure they make some very nice videos, so go check them out after you finish watching this, obviously. Priming and assembly and all that does not count in the 30 minutes, but this guy is one of those Reaper miniatures that comes pre-assembled, so there's not a lot to do with that. I'm gonna prime it real quick with a spray primer, and then we're gonna get painting. For me, he kind of vaguely looks like a space marine type of guy, so I'm gonna be using some sort of blue paints because I kind of want to do that, and see if I can get him close to tabletop ready in 30 minutes. But I'm gonna prime it and we'll be right back. Okay, so I primed my guy here with the, I think it's called Raid Bone from Citadel. Just a quick spray with that one. I have all of my different paints I think I'm gonna need out here. You guys can't see those. Wet palette, another little mixing bowl if I need it, some water, some brushes, and my phone is on a 30-minute timer. So we're gonna press play and see how far we get in 30 minutes. I'm a little stressed about this actually. Okay, so I'm thinking we're starting with this blue color, and I've already shook it up a little bit beforehand, but we'll see here. I think I'm gonna mix it with some amount of water because I find it a little bit easier to make the first layer if it's not too thick but also not too thin. So finding that consistency, and I feel super stressed that like this is timed. I'm gonna have a meltdown during this video. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking most of this is just gonna be blue, except his gun. So just gonna try my best to get some blue paint everywhere. That's not too much clumping up and obscuring details. I don't know how much you guys can see, but I figured I wouldn't edit this too much, so you just get almost 30 minutes of me frantically painting and rambling while I have a stressful meltdown here. This is not how I normally paint. Normally it takes me hours and hours because painting is just something I do to, well, sometimes just to kill time. But honestly, it's just a creative outlet and way for me to listen to a podcast or audiobook or something like that and do something while listening. I'm one of the type of people that likes to get a lot out of the time in a way, because I also spend many hours doing absolutely nothing useful or productive. But like if I'm doing the dishes, I normally have an audiobook or podcast on. Same if I'm painting or if I'm drawing or like painting, not miniatures, but like paintings. And if I'm working out, if I'm on the treadmill, I normally don't run that much because my knee won't stand for that, but I like to take long walks on the treadmill. The weather isn't that nice outside. Again, audiobooks on or music maybe. And I'm also an old 80-year-old lady. So I also like to crochet a lot. I spend a lot of time doing that. And again, maybe having the TV on or an audiobook, something like that. So it's kind of weird to just have myself talking instead now. I've been listening to the Paint Bravely podcast recently while I'm playing World of Warcraft, just leveling alts and stuff like that in Classic. It's nice to have something on as well. And I kind of like that podcast because, how do I say this without sounding super rude, because it's meant in the nicest way, but it's a nice podcast because they're just starting out in a way. Like I know they've been on YouTube for a while, but the podcast part of it is something that's newer to them. And sometimes when you watch something that's not too professionally made, and that's not meant rudely, it's just more chill and more relaxed. Whereas if you watch something that's very popular, sometimes it turns into nothing but commercials and advertising, and it's a little too polished in a way, the end product. I mean, you can always improve sound quality and video quality and all that. It's not so much that, but like, it's just nice that they're just chilling and hanging out. It feels a little bit odd to just completely make this model blue. But I've had this paint for such a long time, and I haven't really had anything that needed to be this blue. So I haven't used it a whole lot. And I don't know why I got it. I just really liked it. Oh, I somehow got super much paint all over myself here. Guess I put my finger somewhere where I shouldn't. And I'm thinking his gun is gonna be some sort of silver and or blackish. I don't quite know yet, but I'm gonna make that a different color just because this model will be mostly one color, and it might be nice to have the weapon stand out a little bit. Oh, I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. Trying my best here to not get too much blue paint where it shouldn't go. I got this model from Reba Miniatures. I think I unboxed this actually in a video a while ago. I don't think it's that long since I uploaded that video, but it's a very long time since I got that box of miniatures. I was very lazy about recording and... No, not recording it, I did that right when I got the box, but editing. I had that footage on my computer for like 3 months or something before I got around to finishing it. Sometimes I'm procrastinating in the weirdest ways, because I actually edited most of it. I needed like maybe 10 or 20 minutes of work, and that video would have been done, and I just didn't finish it for some reason for, yeah, I think 3 months basically. It's kind of weird. I don't know if anybody else is like that. So it's kind of halfway procrastination, because I did do most of it, and then I was like, yeah, I'll just never finish it, I guess. And I don't know what to do with this model. Like, I have no plans of ever using this for anything. So I figured he would be fun for this little 30-minute challenge. And maybe if he's not done in 30 minutes, I'll do a part 2 of this video. I'm not sure, where we've actually spent the rest of the time it would take me to finish it. Or maybe I'll just let my 5-year-old daughter finish it for me, because she might like that. She loves painting, and I have a little bit of hesitation in giving her all my expensive models. But yeah. Okay, so he seems to be covered pretty well in blue. And some of you might be sitting there thinking, why didn't she just use a blue contrast paint for this? Because that would have helped so much. And I did consider that, but I figured it would be more fun this way, and I really wanted to use this blue color here. So I have blue paint everywhere on my fingers. Great. Okay, here we go. Lately I've been figuring out that I kind of like this whole big brush painting, where like the tip is not super fine, but it's like okay, and the brush is super big. I don't know why I suddenly realized that I like painting with that, but I almost use this brush for everything. I got it on like AliExpress or something like that. Okay, so it's a little hard to touch this model anywhere right now because the paint is wet. So I'm thinking I'll try to do something with the weapon here. But I don't quite know what I should do. I think I'm gonna go with a silver, and then I can maybe wash it out with some non-oil or something. I don't know. I'm gonna use a different brush for that, just so I don't get silver flakes all over my regular brush, now that we don't have that much Time to clean. Oh, anyone else thinking of Sheldon's? If you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
If you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
So I think I'm just gonna go in and do this whole weapon in silver. And then we'll take it from there. It was so hard that you can't touch the model because it's... Oh, my paint is not working. Let me shake it up some more. It's so hard when you can't touch the model because it's just wet everywhere. I do have a painting handle somewhere, but I've never really figured out how to make that work for me in a good way, I would say. So if someone is out there having some good tips or tricks of how to actually use those painting handles in a way that works, then I would be very interested, because it seems like such a good idea. Oh, it's been a long time since I used these kinds of metallic paints, because normally I use the liquid silver and liquid gold versions from, is it Vallejo, I think, that makes those, because they go on so nicely. They make no brush strokes, so if you're painting armor or something, you can get super nice results with those in a very short amount of time, and I'm a fan of that. Careful not to get too much silver paint on the blue. And I'm thinking, so this isn't just all silver when this dries, I'll maybe make some black accents on it or something and go over the whole thing with some Nuln Oil at one point, if I have time. I'm sitting here planning like, oh, what will I do? What will I do? No, well, you don't have time for any of this. This is not my way of painting. I have stress painted before because I was signed up for an Age of Sigmar tournament the next day, and I was not done. Like, I was nowhere near done. So that was a little bit of stress there, and some of the models' bases were done in a very fast, not very good way. Okay, so I think we have silver on here. I'm kind of tempted to make some more silver accents somewhere, but not right now, I think. So just rinsing this off. So now that quarantine is, well, I don't know everywhere, but like here in Denmark, it's not as quarantine-y as it was a few months ago. But so I was gonna say now the quarantine is almost over, which is not quite almost over. Anyway, my point was, did anyone learn some new fun skills? Because I've seen a lot of people talking about like, this is such a great time to learn new skills. But I don't know if anyone actually did or just talked about that this would be a good time to do it. I mean, I bought myself a ukulele and decided that I'm gonna learn to play the ukulele. And I can report back that I play the ukulele very badly. I sing very badly. And two negatives definitely do not make a positive in that case. So there's that. But yeah. I don't know why I thought that picking up ukulele and learning to play that would just be super easy, but it's not. I'm gonna make some gold accents somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. Like, he has a lot of things here in the back, but I feel like that might not be where we should do it. He has these knee things. Let's make those gold. I think, I don't know a lot about Space Marines, so I should probably be careful not to offend anyone here. But I think they normally have some sort of gold shoulder things, maybe? I don't know. I don't really do 40k, so I don't know a lot about that. It just doesn't appeal to me that much as Age of Sigmar does, and I haven't played in about a year anyway. Because I just enjoy painting a lot more than I enjoy playing the games, which I think is completely fine, but also means I don't really know a lot about Space Marines, and for some reason this guy just reminded me of one. Actually, we're gonna do this gold as well. But I figured blue and gold, you can't really go wrong because I play Alliance in World of Warcraft, so that's blue and gold. Oh, I feel like I'm spending so much time on things. I don't know what's the timer saying here. Oh, 15 minutes left. Oh, I was just about to say a very bad word there. Oh, better not. Then I have to edit it out. But I think the point here is just to get him to a place where you can see that I spent some time on this model, and if there was a game where he could participate, like he could participate and be like, okay, she tried. Points for effort here. Kind of feels like live streaming, recording this, because it's just me talking a lot. And yeah, I used to live stream Minecraft a lot. I'm kind of used to talking like that. I stopped though. I haven't done it in a very long time. I think this pad actually goes a lot further. Oh, now I've got silver on my hands as well. And I'm trying to record this obviously so you guys can see what I'm doing, but at the same time not being super fussy about letting every little detail of what I'm doing showing here. He has this like thing around his leg, like a gun holster, I guess you would call it. Oh, I'm concentrating so much. I'm trying to hit that with a little bit of gold as well. I think when you're speed painting without knowing, I don't have a lot of experience, but I would say that hitting a few like details adds a lot to the model, because it seems like you spend some amount of time giving it a little bit of thought at least. I won't have time to do like a lot of things, so we'll just do this complete gold. And he does have some like extra bullet things in his belt that could be fun to do in a silver color maybe, but I don't know if I have the time, so I think we'll just leave them gold as well. Just a little bit here, adding a little bit of yay. She tried. Points for effort. Okay, and I'm a little concerned if I run this over with a shade, like shade the whole model, that it's gonna be too wet for me to continue painting. So I'm thinking I'll shade it as the very last thing, and then that drying time won't count. But there is some pieces here on this weapon that I would like to do something else with. I don't know what that should be though. Do I have an Incubi Darkness? I don't have a black paint, I think. I have a Night Lord's Blue. I think we're gonna go with that. So instead of using complete black on the weapon, I will do that one. And we'll hopefully... Oh, that was new. I've never used that, I guess. Is that just me buying a lot of paints? Not because you actually specifically need that paint, but just because it's pretty. And you think that in the future, definitely 100% you're gonna use that. Because I do that a lot. Okay, should probably thin this down a little bit because it's... Oh, I think that might actually have been a good choice to go with something not completely black, because that might have stood out a bit in a weird way here. I think I watered it down a bit too much. It's kind of acting like a contrast paint, like a thick shade. So I'm just painting up a tiny bit more paint. And I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the base. If I have time, I'll just paint it gray or something again. Okay, I'm concentrating so much here. This is definitely not gonna be the best paint job in the world. But I'm guessing nobody expects that in 30 minutes. Okay, and need a little more paint here. Just a tiny bit more. It's so hard that the model is so wet. I can barely touch it. Okay, so some of this doesn't quite look right. But you know what? I think we're just gonna go with that. So far, so good. I mean, adding that gold onto the legs and the shoulders really made a difference in, like, it looks like I spent a lot more time on this model than I actually did, hopefully. How much time do I have? 9 minutes, okay. Okay, I'm so stressed right now. I don't know what we can do to add some extra. I don't know what to do with his face, really. But I have some red paint here. I think we're gonna try to add a little bit of red around the face of the model somehow. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't say eyes, but still adding a little bit. Let me see where I can put this the best. We'll make it like red stripe across, because then he's kind of like an Cylon as well, I guess. If you guys have watched Battlestar Galactica, or I don't know, maybe just me being super nerdy. Okay, that actually added a lot to the model doing that. I don't know how much you guys can see that. My hands are shaking, like, I don't know how much you can see, but a lot. Because I'm stressing about the time. Okay, that added so much to him. And he has some stuff here on his back as well. But I'm thinking we could do a little bit of red on. I also have a yellow paint I picked out in case we had time to do some extra fun stuff. No, I think this might be good. He has this pouch thing. You know, we're gonna do that red as well. Don't know, like, it probably shouldn't be, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. And he has a few things over here. We can add a little bit of red to that as well. Actually, I think that's pretty good so far. Adding those details really makes a difference. Okay. So I think if I'm, oh, you guys can't see anything at all. If I'm gonna shade it, I should probably do it now. And I'm a little unsure what I should shade it with. If I should do normal oil or the black contrast paint, because I've had ups and downs with both of them. So I'm actually a little concerned. And the model isn't quite dry enough to do it. I really wanted to do some highlights on some of this as well, but I don't think I have the time to do it. I have 6 minutes, so it's definitely not a lot. I don't know. I'm not gonna have time to highlight it. I'm just gonna realize that, accept that, and shade it with some normal oil. I would prefer doing a blue shade, but I can't find mine. Like, I have the one from Army Painter and I have the one from Citadel, but I can't find them anywhere. So we're just gonna do this. Oh, I'm always so stressed about using shades. I think not rudely meant as such, but contrast paints have kind of fucked me over in that sense. because some of them work really, really well when you put them on a model and some of them don't. And since they act kind of shady-like, it kind of given me a little bit of hesitation using these. I used one of the bluish contrast paints on some deepkins, and they turned out not very good. So I've been fixing them by painting over it, but yeah. Okay. Trying to hit everywhere with this non-oil. This is actually super fun. I mean, I'm super stressed out doing this, but I can definitely see that I could paint a lot faster if it's something that just have to be tabletop ready. And I would also say that in a few minutes when this time is up, if I just left it, that would be fine, but I could also spend more time making it better, you know. Now I chose to shade it, but I could let that dry and do some highlights on top of it and then shade it again if I felt like it at a later point. So I think maybe I'm learning here that I could easily put some models onto a table and play them. That doesn't mean that I can't go back at a later date and have some more fun painting if I feel like it. So I guess that's the moral of the story here. I'm a little concerned if you guys have been able to see anything I'm doing because I've just been so stressed with the painting. Okay. I actually think for a 30-minute paint job this worked out pretty well. I'm gonna shade the weapon as well because that silver is just a tad bit too shiny for my liking. Adding a good amount in here in the recesses. Is it just me, or should recesses in plural be like recessi or something? That sounds more right in a way. Okay. Actually, I am quite happy with this. And I don't know if you guys could see that, but I avoided shading over the gold parts and the red parts. So they're standing out a lot more because of that. Okay. I think this is pretty good. Yeah. And the timing says I have 2 minutes left actually. So that's pretty good. I'm very happy with this. What should we do with the base? Because I have no idea. I don't really have anything we can do with it. So I have this contrast paint we can add on to it, but because there's already blue on, it's not really gonna be that great. But if I had more than 2 minutes left, I would have removed the blue by painting over with some other color first. Slapping on some contrast paint here. And the blue kind of fades in, like it could be shadows or something like that. Okay. That's gonna make it impossible for me to pick up this model in any way, because now it's completely soaked in contrast paint on the base. But I think I'm actually quite happy with this, considering I normally paint forever on a tiny model. So this is actually fun. I think I'm gonna say that we are done, and I have how much time left? Less than a minute. We have 43 seconds left. I'm gonna call this done. I finished before time. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry so I can take a bit of a better close-up of this, so you guys can actually see a little bit better. Okay, so this was super fun, and as I said, the other people participating in this will be linked in the description below. He's still drying here, so I can't quite pick it up yet, but I will insert some footage of the final result here. And my camera is screaming that it's running out of battery any second now, so hopefully I get to film this outro for you. This was super fun. If you guys would like to see me spend more time finishing this model, I can make a part 2. So leave a comment below if you're interested in that, seeing how much time it would take me to actually finish it. Other than that, I'm gonna say don't forget to watch the other videos, and thank you so much for watching.